Praise be to his holy name. Well, two things happened last night. My little chihuahua had her puppies. And in the midst of all of this, and the things going on between people, and the arguing and the fighting and the disagreement about the most ridiculous and silliest things, but I feel led to come and give you a word that was given to me last night. A vision that I saw. And there's been other people that's seen it, but I've come to give you the word that the Father, Yahweh, has given me. For he is the one that created and made this earth. He's the one that made us. And he's the one that's giving this word. And this is how he spoke it last night to me. He says, I'm going to make this earth empty, and I'm going to make it a waste. Now, I wrote this down the best I could remember. And he said, and turn it upside down and scatter the inhabitants. And it will be with the people, so will it be with the priest, so with the masters, as with the maiden, as with the buyer, the seller, the laborer, the borrower. The land will be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled. For the Father Yahweh has spoken these words. And I mean, he says, I have spoken these words. The earth will mourn and fade away. The world will languish and fade away. And the heathen people will languish. And the earth will be defiled by the inhabitants because they have transgressed the laws, changing the ordinances and breaking the everlasting covenants. And that's what has happened. It happened, and it began with Constantine. A curse will devour the earth, and the people that dwell will be desolated, will be, for the inhabitants of the earth will be burned, and few men left. And then I saw people. It was just like all of a sudden I could just see all people all over the world running, falling in the streets. And I could hear them screaming for mercy and asking for help, begging for help. They were coughing and moaning and groaning and dying. And then I heard these words. The one who created all things has a meeting with all nations. Not just America, but all nations of all the world. He is about to give all the wicked to the sword. And evil will run rampant from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up on the coast. of all nations. And the slain of the Lord shall be in that day from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth. They shall become as dung upon the ground. And then I heard an ear-splitting explosion. And when I looked out, I could see the oceans of the world, the seas. And I saw rockets coming up out of the oceans, leaping up out of the oceans. I mean, like fish jumping up out of the ocean. And these rockets went way high into the air, but they headed in different directions. They didn't head all in one direction. It's like they come up and then they divided and they begin to go in all directions. And when I heard this splitting explosion, it was just almost, it hurt my ears. Okay, it really did. It was an explosion that could hurt my ears. And that's when all the rockets, all of them, exploded at one time. Not one here and there, but every one of them at the same moment exploded, like they had been timed to explode at one specific moment. And when they exploded, a huge fireball come out from them and began to cover the nations. And everyone in the world become so afraid. I mean, that fear just overcome them. And then I heard some voices. And then it becomes silent. The voices seem to be screaming. And then all of a sudden they just become quiet. And there was silence. Silence all over the earth. Not a sound was heard. Not a bird a cheeping. Not a dog barking. Nothing but total 100% silence. But then I heard in the distance singing. And the music was so wonderful, awesome. I mean, I'd never really heard any music on this earth like that. Music I heard, it was just, it was a peaceful, but a joyful music. I mean, it was like a peace descending down upon you. A soothing peace with great joy. And then I could hear shouting and praising the Lord and laughter. And I thought, what? Well, where is that coming from? What is that? And then I realized, it must be the saints rejoicing. Rejoicing of Him. For I looked into the heavens, and above the smoke and the poisonous gas, and above all the noise of the battle here on earth, I saw a white horse coming with a rider. It looked like a man riding this white horse. And I saw a mountain, a great mountain with cliffs, like holes, cliffs in this mountain. And all of a sudden I saw people sticking out their heads, just popping out their heads, and they begin to sing, and they begin to rejoice, and they begin to come out of the cliffs, and they were coming out singing and dancing and rejoicing, and they were going to meet the one on the horse that was riding on the horse. And then all of a sudden I could see a whole bunch of others coming behind him, coming. And the people that was here, that was coming up out of the mountains, the cliffs of the mountains, was running and dancing to him and rejoicing and praising his holy name. And then when I asked the Father, I said, who are these? Who are these? He said, those are the ones I will hide in the cliffs and the rocks of the mountains that have been secured, that have been made ready for them. And he said, I have used my hand to cover the doors of the cliffs of the mountains, where nothing at all can harm them in any way, shape, nor form. These things of the war, of the curse, of the disease, of the pestilence will pass over them, just like in Egypt. When I passed over, when I saw the blood, I passed over. I will do the same once again with my people that I have secured here on earth, that will have to go through this thing, but I have provided a way for them of escape. I have provided for them a hiding place in the cliffs of the rocks of the mountains that they can go to, and I myself will cover them. I will protect them. And we can see, these are the things that he gave me. You can see this if you go back and you will read Joel 2 and see what it says about the end days. And in let me go back. Isaiah. Let me find where I'm looking for. Isaiah 24. If you read Isaiah 24, it talks about the judgment for the universal sin. It says, behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, makes it waste, and turns it upside down, and scatters abroad the inhabitants thereof. And it shall be as the people, as with the priest, as with the servant, as with his master, as with the maid, as with the mistress, and as with the buyer, as with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usurer, and so as the giver of the usurer to him. The land shall be utterly emptied, utterly spoiled, for the land has spoken. You're on the video. utterly. Okay. And for the Lord hath spoken these, for the land will be utterly emptied, utterly spoiled, for the Lord hath spoken the words. And the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languish and fadeth away. The heathen people of the earth do languish, and the people after it also is defiled upon the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed against the laws, changing the ordinance and breaking the everlasting covenant. Just what he told me last night. Just what he showed me last night. It's in the Word. It lines up with the Scriptures, people. Also, let's go over to Jeremiah. The 25th chapter. And it talks about the cup of fury. And it says, For saith the Lord of Israel, take the wine cup of fury at my hand, cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink. And they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I shall send among them. Then take I the cup of the Lord's hand, and made all the nations to drink unto whom the Lord hath sent me. Let me tell you, people, these things that are coming upon the earth is for all the earth, not just for America. People like to try to condemn just America. It's for every nation upon this world. His judgment is coming down. This earth is going to be so desolated that you will hardly find any human being alive. But he will take his remnant, his people that will call upon his name and keep his commandments and his covenant, and he will put them in the clefts of the mountains and the hill, and he will close up the door where they will not be harmed, and there they will be safe. I'm telling you, he is becoming more and more angry at the people, especially that call themselves the children of God, because they're always fighting with each other about the most stupidest things. Yes, I do believe in the pre-trib, so I believe I'm going to be out of here anyway. But it doesn't matter, because if I'm not, and I have to go to the end, he's already told me he's got a hiding place for me. He's going to protect me, no matter what. It's not important what we believe, perceive here. It's what he is and what he has already planned and already predicted. He's telling me to tell you, be ready, be prepared, be prepared. And if he tells you to pack a bag and leave, he's already got a place prepared for you to go. He is preparing everything. This curse that's coming is coming upon the earth. It will burn like fire. The torment and the death and destruction will be unimaginable, and the battle will be raging and going on when he comes back, because it says if he hadn't cut time short, there would be no one left, not even the ones in the caves that he has hidden out. Prepare your hearts. Prepare your hearts now, for you will be judged. You will be judged for everything that comes from that heart. Every evil thought, every word you speak. If you do not learn today who He is and what is coming upon this earth, you will be one of them running down the street, coughing and crying and moaning while your flesh burns. It's coming, people. And I don't say this lightly. I don't say this just to scare you so you want to, I don't know, leave America or leave England or leave this. It's coming to all the world, all nations, no matter where you're at, no matter where you're living, it's coming to your door. But yet He still has a hiding place for you. He has places prepared for you, the ones that are left behind. He is preparing the way. And when you see Him coming back again, and you come out rejoicing and dancing with the great joy of His coming, but look around you. We're in a time. We're in the time of the last days. And we will see all of these things come to pass. We will. So prepare your heart today. Decide who you serve. And you put your heart in Him and prepare yourself. Prepare for whatever is to come. For if you prepare yourself in the Lord Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, then you know you will be protected. Whether you are part of the ingathering and taken, or whether you are still on earth, He has provided a way of escape, a protection. Father, in the name of Yeshua, I bring this message. Here it is. It's the word you gave me. I'm giving it out. Touch those hearts and raise up your people to be ready for whatever you have planned for them in their life. You let them kneel to you and become obedient to you in every way, shape, and form, not taking account of what they have in materialistic things, but knowing that you will provide all things for them in these days to come. Purify their hearts, wash them in the living water, and give them the bread of life. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, Amen and Amen.